federal government has launched a landmark $250 million strategy to support Australians with disability in the community. It coincides with International Day of People with Disability, something that impacts about 4.5 million Australians. Joining me now live is People with Disability Australia President Samantha Connor. Samantha, thank you for joining me this afternoon. There has been a strategy in place for some time now. How does this one differ?
This one's, I think, a new iteration of the strategy that progresses on from the old one. So it really refines and narrows some of the iterations that have been put in place over the last 10 years. And there's other things in place like people with disability who are going to guide and govern that arrangement as well. So, yeah, it's exciting that it's come out today.
And how much consultation has there been with disability groups during this process?
I think there's been fairly extensive consultation throughout the process. I was involved actually working with DSS early on in the piece and going around Australia and speaking to people with disability and family members, for that consultation. So it's really exciting when you look at the end product and see the views of people reflected from those initial days.
Yeah, absolutely. Samantha, of course, as we emerge from lockdowns, what are the barriers to inclusion faced by many of those who do live with a disability, especially those that cannot participate fully in the community?
Yeah, there's significant issues, obviously, for people who are at risk of COVID, especially. There are people who can't participate because of the normal barriers that we have. And then we have people who have health concerns and can't, go out into the community during an outbreak in the same way that other people do. And, not knowing if people are safe around you, those kinds of things are concerns as well. So we hope that some of the strategy will do things like improve the way that we can work from home. For example, everybody's been using Zoom. That's something that has the potential to open up employment for a lot more people.
I've noticed that a number of organisations are making pledges as part of International Day of People with Disability. Are workplaces doing enough to support these people?
Clearly not. So the Royal Commission heard last week that it was about 1% overall in the private sector that employed people with disability. Really, we just need people to stop talking about it and do it. The only way things change is when you do have a person with a disability in your workplace. So to do that, there's endless resources about job carving and about disability access and inclusion plans and ways to include people in the workplace. There's also help for people with disability to make the actual workplaces accessible. There's Job Access, which is a federal government grant that's available, which of course benefits your customers as well. And the most important thing we know is making sure that the people who are working in your organisation are like your customers. And with 1/5 of people with disability in Australia, it just makes sense to make sure that we have people who are serving those people are like those people, and it will increase your clientele.
Samantha Connor, thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you so much.